So I got my haircut yesterday. It was an in-home haircut due to COVID-19. So yeah, it had to happen. It had to happen, you guys. It was getting pretty out of control. You probably saw in the last video. It's just like Medusa out there. But let me know what you think. Yay? Nay? Definitely nay? So let me know in the comments below. What is happening, guys? My name is Maykell and I'm a photographer and filmmaker based out of Columbus, Ohio. And last week I asked some of the members of the Rooted Creative community, which, let me pause right there. If you're not part of the Rooted Creative community group on Facebook, you need to go right now, look it up, join, and I'll catch you there. It's a great community, a small community right now, just recently started, of photographers and filmmakers and people that are just looking to get information, technical information on how to better their craft. So if you're interested in doing that and growing together as a community, you need to go join. Back to the video. So I asked some of you guys to send me some of your photos to edit on Lightroom because it would be fun to see how somebody else edit your photos. And I mean, I don't know, you can always gain a perspective from seeing somebody else toying with your raw files. So that was my ring. My ring is really loud. Anyways, today is the day that I get to edit your photos. Thank you so much to everyone who submitted. You're super talented, your images are awesome, and I can't wait to dive right in and start editing. So why don't we do that? Okay guys, we're gonna start with this image that I received from my friend Una Breyer from Dragonfly Photography. She is a photographer based out of Cleveland, Ohio, and she is amazing. So Una, thanks so much for sending this image. Let's dive right into it. I'm gonna be using the Pick and Sparrow presets, so I'm gonna drop into my classic collection and apply my favorite, which is Pick and Sparrow Dali. It does a pretty good job. I tend to edit a little darker, moodier kind of guy. So I will do that and straighten out the crop a little bit. And let's bring out the shadows just a tad. And bring the highlights. Actually, I'm gonna keep the overall exposure down and do a little bit of a gradient on it. So what the Dali preset did was adjust our contrast, highlights, shadows, whites, blacks, texture, clarity, dehaze, vibrance, and saturation. You can see all that here on the edit panel. There's also a slight J curve that I've applied to it. If we go to the HSL, you can see how I've manipulated each different color, split toning, nothing done there. The details, I've increased the sharpening and added a little bit of noise reduction, no lens corrections, no transformations, and in the effects we have nothing. So back to the basics. So now that we're back here, I'm gonna increase the shadows again, and then I'm gonna grab a gradient and drop it on top of our couple. I'm gonna hit O so I can see what the gradient is doing or affecting, and I'm gonna change this to exposure. So in the exposure, I'm gonna increase it a little bit. Take the O away so I can see how this is affecting the image. So that looks quite nice, but there's of course this haloing happening that is making everything look like it's been vignetted. So I'm gonna take this, again, select this radial filter, hit O, and I'm going to select our brush within the radial filter, click the erase, and make sure that auto mask is selected so it doesn't affect the couple and it only affects the area where I'm trying to erase. So I'm going to start working on erasing around the couple, and if you've selected auto mask, you can be very cavalier with how close you get to the couple while using this brush. If you have outer regions where you're trying to work and you're trying to get this done faster, you can remove auto mask so it makes so the brush is a little bit harsher, and get as close as you can without getting close to the couple, and then you can go back and select auto mask and start getting close to the couple. And as you can see, auto mask does a pretty good job at erasing everything outside of the heart lines of our subjects. So I'm gonna bring this down here, and that should be pretty good. So I'm gonna hit O, and so we can remove that overlay, and let's bring the highlights down a little bit more, and let's adjust the exposure just a tad. And I think that's where I like this image. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little fake reset. If you don't know what that is, you can go back to the other video that I did earlier last week about tips and tricks from Lightroom, and you can see how I do that. But it's simply the / key above your return key, and we'll do a fake reset. So I really like how this image turned out. I think the last thing I would probably do is adjust the white balance of that. And yeah, that'll be it. I think what I would have loved to see from this image is maybe if the light source had been gelled to kind of match the mood a little bit. So that's the only thing that I would love to see. You can again do that adjustment by selecting this radio filter, since that's the only part that was affected from it, and just increase the temperature. We don't want to do that too much. Again, I'm a huge proponent on getting it right on camera before you move on and try to do something else. Okay, Una, thanks so much for submitting this image. This is wonderful. I love it. Okay, so that was really lengthy. But I also hope it was very informative for you guys and gave you a little bit of perspective on how somebody else would edit your photos. Again, to everyone who submitted a photo to be edited, thank you so much. You're amazing. If you're new to my channel, thank you so much for watching. This is what my channel is about, photography, filmmaking, and a little bit of a kick in the pants to help you get through this creative life that we live in. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you're notified when the next video goes up. Thanks so much for watching, and I just realized that I can't reach the camera to do that, close the, yeah. So I'm gonna have to come up with a creative way to end this video. I have an idea. I've been using this a lot to get to and fro. I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram, but I put an Instagram story about this. But I've been using this a lot lately, so I guess I'll use it to finish the video today. Lumos Maxima.